Some say counting calories doesn't matter, but it can make the difference between success or failure in weight loss and weight maintenance. Hi, it's Luci Gabel, exercise physiologist, nutritionist, and coach. And today I'm talking about why calories count. If you're struggling to lose weight or maintain your weight and you're not sure why, learning a little more about the calories that you eat and burn could be a big help for you. I can't tell you how many clients that have come to me and said, Luci, I exercise. I only eat healthy foods. I only eat real foods. And I'm not seeing any change in my body. And then we start logging their foods, only to find out that they've been overeating their calories by upwards of 500 per day, even with exercise. It's been shown time and again in research that most people overestimate the calories they burn during exercise and underestimate the calories that they eat during their meals, especially if they haven't learned much about calories. And if you eat out a lot, you can make this mistake really easily. For example, on the weekends, I'll go out for about an hour and a half bike ride and burn about 700 calories. Now, this bike ride is not easy, mind you. It's up and down a lot of rolling hills of California. I can burn about 1,000 calories if I ride for 2 hours. Again, not an easy ride. It's not on a flat, a lot of hills. So if I rode for the same amount of time on the flat, I'd burn less. Most of the time, I finish the ride and I get home right in time to make dinner. So when we come home, we make and eat a pretty big dinner. Lean protein source, complex carb, and lots of vegetables. Why I'm telling you this is because after I ride, I eat more than normal, but it's no more than about 30% of what I normally eat. And by the time I'm finished, I'm full. Most likely, I've not eaten back those calories that I've burned on my ride, nor do I try. I'll just let those calories be a deficit that'll carry on throughout the week. Will I be hungrier for the next few days? Sometimes, yes. And if so, I'll allow myself to eat a little bit more of my regular foods at mealtime. This past weekend, I went on that same bike ride with a friend, and then we went out for dinner. Needless to say, my diet was a little bit different that night. And if I didn't know a thing or two about my own calorie balance, I could have easily eaten back the calories that I burned and then some. So we ate at a restaurant that is very particular about where they get their meat and how it's farmed. And we each ordered a salad, and we ordered a burger, and we ordered a plate of pasta to split. Now, normally I don't eat pasta at restaurants, and it's not because it's carbohydrate. It's because you just don't know what kind of stuff they're going to put on top of that pasta. And it usually gets to be way more caloric than it would be otherwise. Not to mention that you can make it for so much less money at home. Needless to say, this restaurant was no exception. When our pasta came out, it was dripping in oil. And on tasting it, I could also tell there was some Parmesan cheese, I wasn't sure how much, and there was some butter, I wasn't sure how much, but I could do an estimate in my head, and I could say that this plate of pasta could have easily been 1,000 calories in itself. Let's see. I know what a tablespoon of oil looks like, and I could say that there were about 5 tablespoons at least of oil on this plate of pasta, so that's about 600 calories right there. I also know what a serving of pasta looks like, and I also know that's about 200 calories. There were at least 400 calories of pasta on that dish. Add the cheese, being conservative, and the butter, there were probably 200 calories of each on that dish. So this is being really conservative. That dish in itself was probably about 1,400 calories. Because I'm familiar with calories, my friend and I didn't finish the plate. In fact, we treated it like a dessert. You know, the kind made with lots of cream and sugar, except it was oil, cheese, and butter. And that's what you should do with a plate like that. So I allowed myself a few forkfuls, and then I was done. By the way, this meal was not as filling as most of the meals I make at home after a bike ride because it wasn't as fiber full and nutrient dense. Actually, I was still a little hungry when I got home that night. And so I had my carbs at home, which were baked potato with a huge dollop of low-fat Greek yogurt, and about 4 cups of kale chips that I made the night before. And all that was about 340 calories. Now let's back up. If I wasn't familiar with calories, I would have gone for a very difficult bike ride and probably overestimated how many calories I burned. I could have eaten that meal until I was satisfied, and I easily could have eaten 1,400 calories just for that one meal. Easily. And if you're not familiar with calories, you may not know that this one meal would have been equal to or more than what most women burn in a day. Of course, counting your calories isn't the only thing that you need to do in order to be optimally healthy, but it plays a part in understanding food and energy. It's only one part of the energy balance system that I help my clients to understand, but it's an important part if you're looking to start stabilizing your weight and get a hold on making good choices when it comes to eating. Do you have to count your calories for the rest of your life? That's what my clients ask me, and I always say, no way. You just want to get familiar with what you eat and how much you need to eat and what a balance of calories looks like for you. And then you get used to it. You create some new healthy habits and you stick with those and everything's easy. But every now and then you might want to do a periodic check. You know, when you eat something totally out of the norm, or if your exercise level changes and you want to make sure that you're eating as much as you need to, but not too much. But you don't have to do it every day or every meal forever. So there is a simple thing that you can do for yourself without having to hire a professional. Simply grab a calorie counting app for free and do a little observational study on yourself to see where you are and what you're doing calorie-wise. Of course, it helps to have a professional take a look at what you're doing because a professional can help you to navigate the information and maybe pick out some small details that you might be missing. But you can certainly get started on your own and get some really good information and feedback. If you like this video, click like. If you want more videos like this, subscribe. And if you want to learn more about me or work with me and my team, head on over to LuciFit.com where you can find out more about that. And at the very least, you can subscribe to my email list over there where you'll get lots of tips and tricks and other gifts that I offer to my followers that I don't upload to my YouTube channel. See you there.